This playlist went from 0 to almost 5k followers in less than 6 weeks. We tested 64 ad variations and we spent a total of £618. No bots, no tricks, just a real fan base and a strategy that actually works. Let me show you exactly how we did it so you can replicate this method for your own playlist and music. So here's the playlist. It's called Ethereal Fever Dream. It's a combination of indie pop, alt electronica, experimental music. Think Grimes, Bjork and Leaky Lee. I don't know how to pronounce these names. But the important thing is that on February 16th it had 0 followers and today almost 5k. But of course this wasn't luck. It was built with a clear strategy. Meta ads, smart targeting and a whole lot of creatives. So in this video I'll break down the exact strategy we use to grow the Spotify playlist, why this is a cheat code for triggering the Spotify algorithm, and how artists can leverage playlists to grow their own music faster. Let's dive in. So why playlist promotion works for artists. When you put your song next to a playlist with similar artists, you're doing 2 key things. 1, training the Spotify algorithm what your music sounds like, and 2, giving listeners the right context to discover your music naturally. It's one of the easiest ways to boost algorithmic placements such as Discover Weekly and radio, and also get grouped with artists which your audience already loves, which is super important. So instead of waiting for Spotify to figure you out, you're the one given the data up front. Our first mission and objective was to hit 3k followers. Why? Because once you hit this threshold, you can start monetizing your playlist in websites such as Submit Hub, Groover, Playlist Push. So technically you can start submitting your playlist once you hit 1k followers. But honestly, what we have seen and what a lot of people in our community have experienced too is that this is not always enough. You can still get rejected. That's why we recommend building it up a tiny bit more just for you to have a higher chance to get accepted. So here's the strategy we used. We craft 16 different creatives and we target 4 different target audiences. And the first one that we did was a combination of different artists. So I'm going to show you actually the artists that we target. If we go to the ad set level, then I'm going to explain a little bit about the campaign setup. If you scroll down a little bit, here you have a combination of the artists such as Bjork, Leaky Lee, Grimes and Charlie XCX. So this is the combination of artists that we aim for this specific targeting. So that's one, and then we targeted indie pop, then the third one was pop, and the last one was broad. So we don't target anything whatsoever and we leave it to Meta's algorithm. So that gave us 64 total combinations. Usually the more combinations you test, the faster and the easier it is to have a winning ad, a winning performing ad, just because you never really know which one is going to perform the best, which ad with which target interest is going to perform the best. So as we have mentioned in previous videos, testing is the most essential part of this whole strategy. So now I'm going to quickly show you the campaign setup. As you can already see, we tested a lot of different combinations. As I mentioned, 64. This is just the naming that we put here. Ad 1, song 2, pop, ad 1, song 2, broad, which are the target audiences that I already mentioned. So as you can see on the right, we have the cost per result column and the amount spent. As you can see, this specific ad set has a cost per result of 4 pence or 0.04 pounds. But not only was this a really good performing ad, we also have this one at 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, etc., etc. But of course, we have some ad sets that didn't perform as well, didn't perform well at all. For example, this last 3, and then of course these ones, it didn't get any conversion, so we turn it off. Usually when an ad set has spent between 1 and 2 euros, you can turn it off or leave it according to the cost per result and how satisfied you are with the performance. I'm gonna quickly go to the ad set level now so I can show you the campaign setup that we did. First off, in the campaign level, we just name it the playlist name, Ethereal Fever Dream. We run a sales campaign objective. You can also do engagement, but we always use sales. Then the campaign budget, the budget is not on the campaign level, it's on the ad set budget, on the ad set level. This is it in terms of the campaign level. Just really quickly, if we go to the ad set level, here you have the ad set name. What we usually do is just the ad amount, ad 4, ad 5, ad 6, whatever. And then with a dash, we name the target audience so we can quickly visualize which ad with which target interest is performing well, or if it isn't performing well. The performance goal, maximize number of conversions. Then the conversion event is view content, because our landing page is usually toned in, and that's the conversion event that this specific platform uses. If, for example, you use hyped it, it's a different conversion event, which, if I'm not mistaken, is hyped it smart link click, not hyped it smart link visit. That's another video. If you want me to go over that, for sure we can do that. But keeping this centered, we just use toned in because it's free, it's easy to use, and it drives results. So for the budget strategy, we use €5 a day for each specific ad set. This is the countries that we target. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. If you want to copy it, go ahead. But it's a combination of tier 1 and tier 2 countries. As you can see, we have Austria, Australia, Germany, United States, United Kingdom, so all tier 1. But we also have countries such as Argentina, Chile, Brazil. So all these are tier 2 countries, which usually are slightly cheaper to promote, but you also get paid a little bit less if you're aiming for a song, for example. So it's really up to you what's your objective at and what is the target audience that you're trying to build. So the age 18 to 44, all genders, and then here the detailed targeting. In this specific scenario, as we name it artists, we go for this combination of artists and must also match Spotify. This means that a person who enjoys either of these artists and also has Spotify as his streaming service will most likely enjoy this particular ad. So then if we scroll down a little bit, this is really important. As you can see, it says 20 of 23 available placements excluded. This means that we only targeted 3. And the 3 that we targeted was Instagram Stories, Instagram Reels, and Instagram Feed. This is the only targeting that we do. I know some people have asked if we target Facebook or not, but quick answer, we never do. And yeah, then we go to the ad level. This is how the ad looks, which I will then show you the best performing ad just for you to have a better understanding of what a high performing ad is. Scroll down, we usually just deselect this option, multi-advertiser ads, single image or video. This is where you paste the landing page link. So we can click on preview button. We can quickly see that it is super simple, straightforward, and it only has one button, because usually the more options you give people, the less likely they are to take action. In this specific scenario, of course, we are only targeting a Spotify playlist, so the only available option is the play button on Spotify. But if you have a song, for example, you can just leave Spotify and Apple Music. And then you can scroll down a little bit, and here is where you will upload your creative. This is the primary text that we use, looking for alternative and ethereal pop. Listen to this playlist and some symbols, some weird symbols that we use just because it matches with the vibe of the playlist and the vibe of the artist. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, you have the call to action, which is, of course, listen now. And that's essentially it in terms of the setup of the campaign itself. Then we replicate that for the amount of creatives and the amount of target audiences that we have in place. And therefore, you will end up having 64 different ad sets. So if I click on this box on the left, you can see that now we have 64 selected. So for the creatives, we tested 3 different angles. The first one is a combination of B-roll and a scroll down of the songs that you have on your playlist. Then the second angle is just having B-roll with a copy in the middle that is usually something like, are you looking for alternative pop? It's literally just a problem solution. Are you looking for this? Here you go. And then the last angle that we targeted was just a full screen scroll down of the songs that you currently have on your playlist. And in the middle, you just show the cover art, the title of the playlist, and a simple CTA. and the average cost per result of this specific campaign was 5 pence, which is 0.05 pounds, and the best performing ad set was 4 pence. In short, this is one of our best playlist campaigns we have ever run. I would like to show you now how the creative looks, so you can have a better understanding of what you can aim for. Just for copyright purposes, I'm not gonna play the sound, but this is how the creative looks. As you can see, in the beginning we have the problem solution angle that I mentioned previously, which is, in this case, is addicted to ethereal pop, I got your fix. And then you show the cover art of your playlist, then the title of your playlist, which in this case is Ethereal Fever Dream, and then a call to action, which is listen on Spotify. So yeah, we actually uploaded a whole separate video just in depth in terms of how to make a high performing creative. So if you want to check it out, I will leave in the description. So I won't go super in depth in this one, but a quick tip is just use fonts and colors that matches with the mood of your playlist and the mood of the cover art and the b-roll that you're essentially showcasing. And yeah, in the beginning you can have a copy, as I mentioned before, and then around second 3 and 5 you show the cover art, the title of the playlist, and a simple call to action, which usually is listen now, stream now. And as I mentioned earlier, what we used as a landing page was Tonden, which is super clean, fast, mobile friendly, and just no distractions, which is super important. So if we click on the play button on Spotify, we land on the playlist itself, which is of course what we're looking for. Simple pages just convert better and you have less drop-offs, which is really what we're aiming for. So this playlist gained a huge following in just 6 weeks. It teaches the Spotify's algorithm what our clients' music sounds like, and it became a potential passive income. So that for you is a triple win. And here's the key. If you're an artist, building your own Spotify playlist is the cheat code. Because it's like building your own algorithmic container. You place your song to similar artists, you run ads, and let the algorithm start connecting the dots. So every stream, save, and follow sends data back to Spotify and helps it understand what your music sounds like and what is the target audience for your own specific playlist. So this helps the platform understand your music better. So do this across multiple playlists and you're not only building a fan base, but you're also building an infrastructure. So just a quick recap, here are the results of the campaign. So the playlist grew 4,926 followers in less than 6 weeks. We spent a total amount of £618, and the average cost per result of the whole campaign was 5 pence, which again is incredible. The client also unlocked monetization through platforms that I already mentioned, like Submit Hub, Groover, and Playlist Push. And now you have algorithmic feedback in full swing. So this is scalable music marketing. No trends, no praying for virality. So this is just building assets that work for you while you sleep. You can totally build this system on your own. But if you want some help in terms of playlist growth, release growth, or fan base growth, click the link below and book a call with us. So if this video helped you in any way, feel free to subscribe, drop a comment, and stay tuned. We've got more deep dives coming soon. I'll see you in the next one.